Before we jump into today's show, I've got a really exciting announcement to make. The autumn cohorts for Start Your Podcast group program are now open. There are 5 dates between September and October, and it's a 6-week program that will get you launched before Christmas. So if podcasting was on your to-do list this year, if you really want to get your podcast up and done by the end of 2023, then come and join me for one of those cohorts and let's make it happen. I have a free masterclass available for you called Understanding the Power of Podcasting. You can go over to Unltd.com/masterclass, watch the masterclass and get access to that enrollment. I hope to see you in one of the autumn cohorts very soon. That's Unltd.com/masterclass. Let's get back to the show. It's automatic. It's hydromatic. Why, it might be grease lightning. Okay, well, it's not grease lightning, but this episode could certainly help you speed up your way of working. And also, I have some fantastic news to share. So let's jump in. To the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors podcast. Everybody, I hope you are well today. I am a little bit excited, I have to say. And this is because if you haven't followed me on social media, go over to the show notes, find my social media links and follow me. But I think you probably have. If you haven't seen the news, this week I was awarded the Mums Ultd Silver Shining Star Award for 2020. And I was completely overwhelmed. The key criteria for being selected as a finalist include clearly demonstrating business knowledge, experience, creativity, commitment to customer care, and strong evidence of business achievements. Now, honestly, I think the fact that we've got to December 2020 and we still have a pulse shows that we have some achievements this year. And for all of the wedding industry, if you are still standing, you have done an amazing job. So I want to share this award, especially with my members who have supported me this year in starting this membership, starting this society, and creating this place for wedding vendors, and to the industry who connected with each other, backed each other, and really just shown that we are a strong force in the business world. And I just hope that, 2021 is a year that is going to bring you great blessings. So Mums Ultd is a Hertford-based networking group, and it's actually expanded to include groups in Whitstable right up to Northamptonshire, where I am based. It was set up originally to help mums in business network at a time that was more suitable around childcare and school runs, and it has grown over the years to include mums of grown-up flown the nest kids as well as a few men. Debbie Gilbert set up the group and created the awards 3 years ago to celebrate the achievements of mums in business. Her support and desire to see you succeed is evident in everything she does, from her forthright and no-nonsense business advice to her listening ear and tea and sympathy. She is a great judge of knowing when you need which and has been a backbone to us all this year. So thank you so much, Debbie. This year would have been harder for all of us without you and the fantastic group of women and men you have brought together. So in light of my Shining Star win, I am super proud and I wanted to celebrate not just the win, but the end of a terrible year for our industry. I just love our industry so much, and it hurts me terribly to see the suffering that has been going on. So I want to celebrate that we have ended this year, and I want to celebrate you as a wedding vendor for making it through, whether you found it manageable or whether you have struggled through 2020. You, my friend, made it, and you deserve a reward for that. And your business deserves a gift too. So my gift to you is a very special offer that I alluded to last week. And until the 23rd of December this year, you can get 60 days of society membership for just £10. So membership is £17 a month and will be going up at some point next year. However, if you join by the 23rd of December, you get your first 60 days for just £10 and you lock in the membership price of £17 a month thereafter. You'll never pay a penny more as long as you stay a member. You also get instant access to the membership area, where we currently have 5 fantastic masterclasses, from optimizing your website to how to get awesome testimonials, and a fantastic one on Facebook ads. So join today by heading over to bit.ly/D, and then the word offer, all in lowercase. So bit.ly/DEC in capitals, offer in lowercase. The link will be in the show notes, which you can find at www.spwv.co.uk/034-automation. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into automation. Whenever we have a break from our usual business flow, taking a look at automating our systems is a great use of your time. So if you can get your systems in place to do the work for you while you're busy doing your actual business, like taking photographs, designing wedding cakes, designing stationery, fitting wedding dresses, then it just helps to make you super efficient. Now, it can be a struggle to get this in place, which is why I say when you take a break from your usual business flow is the best time to get started. In my mind, batching and automation go hand in hand. So for this talk today, I'm going to look at both. And I just wanted to say I am by no means perfect at this myself. I know what I need to do, but sometimes finding the time can be difficult. So I'm going to go through my plan of getting this working for me, rather than making me feel like a failure when I feel like I'm struggling to catch up. So when you think about putting automation into your business, what you need to do is look at what's taking you the most time. So for me, my podcast takes up a lot of time. For you, it might be a blog, and so does my social media. You might also find that if you do weekly newsletters and things like that, they can take up a lot of your time as well. And what happens is when things take up so much time, we are so quick to push them to the back, push them to the side, miss a day or miss a week, and we start to lose consistency with it. And I've said before, consistency is key. So what you want to do is look at making as much of these jobs as possible automatic, or at least batching them and getting them set up to be activated automatically. So now my strategy for getting on top of this involves my calendar blocking, which I've spoken about before in episode 19. So if you want more detail on that, you can go and visit that episode. I'm also taking 2 weeks off over Christmas. This has been a crazy year and I think we all deserve the break, to be honest. I won't be doing any new episodes for those 2 weeks because my upload day is a Friday and that lands on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I'm not going to completely stop working, but I didn't think even my loyalist of listener will want to be tuning in on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I will be getting ahead during those 2 weeks with batching and getting my system set up so I can start 2021 on the right foot. So if we take social media, for example, I have a whole system for that. You can check out episode 20 for my top tips on social media content. But in brief, I have an Excel spreadsheet that I use and each day of the week has a theme. I take 1 day a month to populate each day with content for the theme of that day. And then I get my images ready and I do as much of this as I can in 1 day so that I've got it all ready to go. I use Later and Canva to schedule my social media, and each week I take time to schedule the week ahead. I do this weekly in case something more time sensitive comes up, whether there's something in the news or a special day, or like this week, for example, I wasn't sure what award I would win, so I hadn't scheduled that. I wasn't sure whether the offer for membership would be ready in time to go up on a particular day, so I couldn't schedule that. But I had scheduled content for every day this week. I've not scheduled it, but put it in my calendar. So this content can now be moved and used on another day, so that's bonus. So don't ever think that by filling in a month ahead that if you've got to change something you wasted that time, because you can just then move that to the following week or move it to the next month. You can use all of your content again, so don't worry about that. Using systems means that you don't have to even log into your socials, and I don't know about you, but I find socials it just sucks me in and I can lose so much time in there. So getting ahead and batching a month at a time taking an hour or two once a week to schedule it all in for all of my platforms and then being done is just a weight off my shoulders. Obviously, you need to get in there, engage. It's important to engage with your posts and not just to, you can't just let social media, that's not the point of it, it's social. But the ability to know what you're going to say and have the graphic or the picture or whatever ready and just posting automatically just takes that stress off on a daily basis. It can take so much more time if you are doing it on the fly than it can if you've done it all in one go. So when it comes to engaging, put it on your calendar. Put a time on your calendar where you're going to go in and look at your socials, whether that be just before you come back to work at lunch or just as you break for lunch, somewhere around there, 10-15 minutes, put a timer on, engage, get done, get out. That is my resolution for 2021 when it comes to social media, is getting that timer set, because I know I have lost hours this year on social media, and that's not what makes you the money, although it can lead to income, it's not what makes you money. What makes you money is taking the photographs. What makes you money is sending out the invitations. What makes you money is completing the wedding cake. So social media isn't a money-making activity, although it can lead to sales in the end. So set that timer, do your 15 minutes, whatever it is, and then get out of there. Come back at the end of the day when you've finished work if you want to, and play around with it more, but set that time so that you can be more efficient. For your podcast or blog, you can batch each stage to get ahead. And that's what I try to do and what I'm going to do better in the new year. If you can get 2 or 3 blog posts written and up, ready to schedule, then you can actually, really put a plan in place for getting ahead with your blog posts, which is another thing that you can do in your sort of downtime break for the holidays. So write out your stages of what you need to do to have your podcast or blog or whatever your weekly content is out there, and be realistic with your timings, because one thing you don't want to do is to set yourself sort of 2 hours to write 4 blogs if that's not realistic for you. Writing can take me quite a long time, which is why I do podcasts, although as I was writing out my stages, which I'm going to share with you next, I realised that actually it would probably be quicker for me to write a podcast. But, be realistic with your timings. So for me, my stages of podcasting is, number 1, I have to write the outlines. So I want to write 6 podcast outlines. 2, record those 6 podcasts. 3, edit the podcasts. 4, upload them to the host and schedule them. 5, convert those outlines to show notes and load them onto my website, embed the pod player and schedule them. 6, write the emails for each podcast and schedule them. 7, create any guides, checklists, freebies for that podcast and get them set up wherever they need to be. Number 8, create the social media posts for each podcast. It takes a lot of time, but you can schedule these tasks, get them all done, and then be done with it. So if I was, for example, to take a week every 6 weeks to complete these tasks and just spend a solid week doing it, I'll have 5 weeks where I don't have to think about my podcast at all, because it's all going to happen without me being around. It's all scheduled. It's all going to just populate where it needs to be when it needs to happen. If I was going to do it each week, it basically, and I can tell you this in all honesty, because this is one of those episodes where it should have been part of a batch, but I got out of the habit and now I'm doing it on the fly. It's going to take me the whole day. It's already taken me time to write the outline. I'm now recording it. Then I've got to edit it. Because I've got a really good outline, I don't think it's going to take me as long as it sometimes does do to edit, but editing does take quite a lot of time. Then I've got to convert my outline into show notes. And doing all of this, when you do it all in those stages, one after the other, it takes so much longer. Whereas if you're going to write outlines, you're just writing. There's no break from that. You don't have to break away, set up the computer, set up the mic to write. You don't have to then, move the mic, get settled, ready to edit, get your earphones out. You don't have to do all of those different things in one. You are just focusing on one thing and you just repeat it for the 6. One thing, repeat it for the 6. So it's just so much more efficient to batch it. Taking a whole day to produce one podcast is just not an efficient use of my time. It's not viable in sense of creating a business that's going to grow. That day needs to be used productively. So taking a week where I do all 6 and then it's done and out the way, I can then schedule my time better for the next 5 weeks to make sure that I am doing all of the things that are going to move my business forward. So I hope that helped, and I hope it helped you think about what takes up the most of your time and how you can get more efficient with it. Don't forget, if you are not a member of SPWV right now, then head over to bit.ly/D, C, offer, and come and join us inside the SPWV. The society is there to help you increase your credibility with your clients by providing you with a code of conduct that shows that you hold yourself to a higher standard. We have some great members benefits inside too, so I hope you'll take advantage of my Christmas gift to you, and I will speak with you guys next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.